welcome back to Linda's Pantry, and today I'm excited. As you see in the title, I am canning one of my very favorites, and that's Mississippi pork roast. So this was inspired by Lisa over at Sutton's Days. She told me about it. We talk every day, and so she said she had it on her canning list, and I'm like, hurry up, because I'm gonna do it too. So I'm already roasting my pork off, so I'm doing it just like I do the roasted pork and spicy broth, only instead of the spicy broth, it's gonna be a chicken broth laced with pepperoncini juice, the brine from the pepperoncinis, and there'll be lots of peppers in the meat mixture as well. So I'm gonna add onions to mine because the original, I believe it calls for like the onion soup mix. So I'll be adding some fresh onions because I love the way they break down and just flavor the broth. And we're gonna put this in pint jars today. So I'm using the small 10.5 All-American canner. I'll try to leave a link for you down below. I'm doing smaller batch canning so I can rotate through it easily, but then I get to bring you more videos because if I do 19 jars of it, I don't need to revisit that or another canning session for quite some time. I know you guys love these, so come on in and let's see how we're doing it. We're gonna be right at filling the jars, but I'll go ahead and bring you over for the broth. It's just absolutely delicious. And you want it briny enough to your liking, and the nice thing is you can taste it while you're making the broth. Okay, come on in. Okay, so I've got my broth all mixed up, kind of weak. I don't want it to overpower. I'm gonna put about a teaspoon and a half of dill, okay? Maybe a little bit more. You eyeball that, dill's not too bad.
Okay, I'm gonna catch you up to speed. My big camera, something's going on. It keeps shutting off automatically. The screen, I'll look up and it'll say, oh, the camera shut off automatically. Why, I don't know. So I have about a teaspoon and a half of dill in here, my light chicken broth, 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper, and then this is a salt, pepper, garlic. Ooh. And I want it a little bit. This is not strong. It's absolutely wonderful. This is SPG from Suckle Busters. It makes me sneeze every time. I'm hoping I don't sneeze, but anyway, we got that in the broth. If we need to make more, we will. I'm going to add my brininess from the pepperoncinis. And we're going to get this as briny as we want. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to put the peppers in here. I want them to go straight. And I'm just going to taste this. But I'm pretty sure I want the juice of 1 jar for that much roasted meat. But let's give it a taste test. It smells good. I got a tasting spoon right here. See, and this is a nice, you see the little flecks of dill. Oh, that's perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay. Super delicious. And once the juices from the pork are in here, it's going to be fantastic. So I don't know where or when my camera stopped, but I've got my jars. I've got 7 1-pint jars over here in the canner. In the canning water, no vinegar, anything. I'll put the vinegar in after I fill the jars because I'm letting them stay warm in here. It's going to be hot jars, hot food, hot liquid, hot canner. Woo! Okay, I'll bring you over while I'm filling jars. Okay, we are canning. Okay, I got my hot jars out. I'm going to put, like, each one of these jars is going to be layered. So, a few pepperoncinis down there. Grab some of this pork. Now, it's got some brown on it. It's about, oh, I'd say halfway. Let's put some more peppers in there. This is how I'm gonna layer it. Whoop. And some more meat down there. We need a debubbler, a debubble tool. Let's get one of those debubblers. And let me grab a towel. Okay, so we are gonna push this down. I don't wanna pack it too tight. I need 1 inch of headspace, but I want enough meat in there for a meal. So I want some of that juice because that broth, and I poured the juices off the meat into the pot of stock that I have sitting here. So that is already done. I'm gonna get my towel.
to wipe the rim when I'm ready. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put some more peppers down here. So probably all in all, and these are the sliced ones, I really like these for this. You know, when I do it in the crock pot or in the Instant Pot, I use the sliced ones. Sometimes I use the whole ones in as well. But so that pork broth is in there with that, and I want this is a half a tablespoon of Thrive diced onions. I'm gonna put that right on top. You could put it anywhere you want. Again, debubble. We want an inch of headspace. If you go beyond that, your jar won't seal. It will not seal properly. I just experienced that. I had a jar fail, and it was my fault because I overfilled it. So this would be an example of overfilling it. It's actually about halfway there. So I'm gonna grab a spoon, and I'm just probably gonna take a hunk of meat out, even though I don't want to. Okay, so now we've got perfect headspace. Everybody's in the swimming pool, underwater, or under the submerged. And I probably could use half a teaspoon more. There we go. All right, so that's what everything is gonna look like. You're gonna wipe the rim of your jar. I've already inspected these, you know, when I put them in the canner to stay hot. You're gonna get yourself a flat, and I'm doing all button top today, and a ring. So it'll be 6 wide mouth jars and one regular mouth. I'm gonna set these aside because they're hot. They're gonna stay hot, and we'll get to cracking on this. So pepperoncinis. Let's put our onions in on the next after we get some of the meat in. I don't know if I'm gonna get 7 jars, but I'm gonna try. Okay, some meat, some more pepper. I mean, some onions. Some meat, some onions, some more peppers, and the broth is so good. I tasted it before I put the partially rendered, cooked. I get those onions down there. Partially cooked meat juices in there, so you may have to get your hands and hand pick which meats going in. Where are you gonna fit? And are you gonna fit with the pepperoncinis and all that? Woof, it's gonna be good. All right, let's get some broth. Hopefully we didn't overfill this one. If we did, I will remedy. And we're gonna debubble and kind of pack that meat in there a little bit and see what we got. Oh, perfect, 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 perfect. So I'm gonna wipe the rim. And the reason I'm leaving these out right now to sit on the counter is, number one, they're hot, but number two, my canner, I mean, they're really hot. My canner is full of hot jars, and I wanna make sure I've got the proper amount of liquid in here, water in here, when I start the canning, because it needs about 3 inches of water. So I'm going to grab a couple of these jars out, and you guys are coming along for all of it. Yeah, I think we're probably going to have too much water in there, so we'll fix it, no worries. And get some peppers in here, and that's all I'm doing. I'm going to do this for the rest of the jars. I'll meet you at the counter and let you know how many I get. Okay. I've got 6 jars in the counter, and these are wide mouth, so they fit pretty good. That's all the meat I had, enough meat for 6, and that's with the pepperoncinis, the onions, the broth, and so we're gonna tighten these and get this going. I'm gonna turn the heat up. As soon as it starts venting out of the petcock, then we'll time that for 10 minutes. Let all the air and the water, everything get equally as hot around the jars as possible. And then after the 10 minutes, we'll put the weight on. It's 10 pounds for my altitude. If you are in a high altitude, you need to check
with your, just Google your altitude. I am like 242 feet above sea level, so I'm right there. I can use a 10-pound weight. When I was in Nevada, I was at 4,500 feet above sea level, and so I had to use the 15-pound weight, or 13 on the dial gauge, I believe. So, but I just went to the 15 to be safe, because most of the harmful bacteria that doesn't get killed because you don't have enough pressure is in higher altitudes. That's when we have some issues. So, all right, guys, be safe when you're canning, and I'll bring you back when I'm letting get these out of the jar, or out of the canner. I let it come down naturally, let it take its time. I adjust my weight for the jiggler, and I don't have a lot of siphoning, so, and I usually have a pretty good seal rate. Once in a while I'll not pay attention, and you know, and then you have something fail. But I'm gonna clean up my mess, and I'm gonna get my air fryer out and make myself dinner. Okay guys, it's time to put the weight on. Woo! And then as soon as the weight starts jiggling, where's my 10 pounds? Here we go, 10 pounds. Oop. As soon as this starts jiggling, I will start the timing in this, because it's pints and it's chicken, low acid, pressure canned at 75 minutes. All right, I can't wait. And I will definitely, when I crack open a jar, I will bring you along for the taste test. And I might even have a guest star to give us a taste test for that. Okay, a guest star. A guest. No, well, I guess I could make them feel like they're a star. It'll probably be my grandson. But anyway, all right, guys. We'll be back in 75 minutes, and then after the cool down. Okay, so my canner has had a chance to rest, and the pressure has come down. I let the steam vent out of the canner, and now we're going to take out some jars. We should not have a whole lot of, look at that. Oh, I cannot wait. It's still bubbling in here. You can still see a bubble now and then. I'm just gonna set those. And the rings loosen up, but that's okay. I have a little bit of cloudiness in the canner. Not much, not much. That means that we had some kind of broth evacuation, which is okay. I'm okay with that. Not much though. There's no oil or anything like that. So we're gonna get all of our jars set out here. I let the steam come out from underneath the lid for about 15 minutes, and I got a phone call, so it was probably closer to 20, but it's perfect because it will keep everything that I want in the jar in the jar. I cannot wait to share this recipe with you. I can't wait to share it when I open the jar. Okay, so this is such a good recipe. I'm super excited. Mississippi pork roast. Come on, you guys, you know you want to try that. You can have this over pasta, potatoes by itself if you're low carbing, or over cauliflower rice or regular rice. I like it over jasmine rice, but it's delicious. So, all right, I'll bring you along when I open one of these and we have dinner. And I'll probably give you a post-canning chat and let you know, and make sure that all the jars sealed too. Okay, let me know in the comment section if you'd like me to do that. All right, guys, I'll see you next time for another delicious recipe, and I hope it inspires you to do the same thing. All right, bye.